An apple a day keeps the doctor away, so stick around. Hey guys, I'm Rachel. Welcome to PencilStash. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are doing something a little bit different. We are not going to use a coloring book today. We are actually going to do a colored pencil exercise. I've taken a photo of an apple, and this is not just any apple, this is a Fuji apple. So it has a lot of golden greens, lots of reds, lots of oranges, lots of little speckles on it. So really interesting subject. And I have cast a light on one side of it so that it casts a nice shadow on the other. And we are going to try to recreate this drawing. This is a great exercise for anyone who likes to play with colored pencils and absolutely useful in your adult coloring. And so before we get to my desk, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, or better yet, that bell button, to be notified when I've uploaded new videos. And don't forget to hit that like button if you are enjoying my channel. Let's head over to my desk and we'll get started. Here's the picture we're going to be using, and it's a great study of light and shadow. So up here to the upper left, this is where our light source is coming from, and down here on the bottom right is our shadow. So first things first, we're going to sketch a rough outline of the shape of our apple. And don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just use really light strokes with your pencil. And then if you don't like the shape, you can kind of autocorrect and then erase the lines that you're not happy with later on. Now we're going to go into our drawing, and we're going to highlight a few features just really lightly with our pencil, just so that we can sort of have a rough outline with where these different features are. And the first being the sort of dimple, or that top crevice where the stem would go. The second being this dark shadow in the upper right here. The third being the light bounce that actually looks very sort of pinky blue fuchsia. And this is a really interesting effect, and this is something that I think that is really beneficial from looking at real life objects like this, because when you're coloring an apple, you wouldn't think that there would be any blue in it or any pink in it, but look at this, you can really tell and see all that pink there. So we're going to recreate that. And then we're also going to do this sort of light bounce area here on the shadow side that looks redder. And then, of course, the shadow that is cast from the apple onto the table. So again, we'll just lightly with our pencil sort of create the shapes that some of these features make on the apple, just so we can use them as a guide for when we go back in with our colored pencils. So now we finally get to use our colored pencils, and the first thing that you want to do is pick your colors. And so look at the reference photo and really try to pull out some of those really dominant colors, and then go in and look at all the details and all the little colors that might be more subtle. The ones that I've pulled here are lime peel, carmine red, poppy orange, goldenrod, chartreuse, and mineral orange. Now we're going to go in and actually pick some colors that are maybe not so obvious. And the ones we're going to pick are white, blue, and our process red, which is actually a very fuchsia pink color. Now we're going to go in and literally just look at our reference photo and just start trying to recreate it. And I'm going to start with my lightest green, my chartreuse here. So I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to start just kind of using the lines from our reference photo. And even if you have to go just kind of section by section and just recreate the lines that you see. And so you're going to pick up your chartreuse, you're going to put it down, you're going to pick up your lime peel, you're going to do a couple of lines, you're going to put it down, and then you're going to go to your next color, and you're just going to sort of take it area by area, and you're going to just kind of find those really identifiable marks and just try to recreate what you see in your reference photo. trust me, just because of the stages that you have to do this in, it's going to look terrible before it looks pretty. And this is a process, so don't get discouraged. You're really going to have to focus on, where to put that color, where to take it away, where to change color, where to layer color, how to blend it together so that it really reads as very sort of vertical lines like this apple reads. And like I said, it's just going to be a process, and it's really fun to try and recreate the features that you see in this apple. But I really like this exercise because it forces you to stop and really look at that apple. Like, for example, if you look at all of the dark vertical lines that are running top to bottom, kind of in that center section, that are such a beautiful deep red. And then if you look directly to the left of those, you see this beautiful mineral orange sort of speckled pattern. And then you see another sort of lime green chartreuse section there at the bottom. You see how the light sort of bounces off at that bottom left hand and sort of creates like a Nike symbol or a check mark across it. And then when you do adult coloring, sometimes we're so tempted to just put sort of shadows all along that like back side of the apple, but it really doesn't do that in real life. There's really only that dark shadow on that upper right hand portion. It doesn't really go down that full length of the right side. And again, this exercise sort of forces you to notice these things. So again, just really, really helpful in playing with light and shadow. Now we're going to use our blender, and we're actually going to use our blender very lightly so that we can again go back in and layer in color just to make this look just how we want it. But that blender is really going to bring all of these things together. All right, so we are nearing the finish line, and you may have noticed that I neglected to put in the bright white highlight from the reflection of our light in that upper left-hand corner. So I'm going to do so now by going back in with my Uniposca paint pen. This is a matte paint pen, and I'm just going to sort of reclaim that white highlight here just by recreating the shape and giving it the finishing touch of that smooth, shiny apple. And that is it for us this week. This is our finished product. I hope that you enjoy this exercise in light and shadow. It'll really help hone your colored pencil skills by sort of recreating some of these things that you see in nature. I strongly encourage you guys to try this one out yourselves and see what it can do for you. So this week, let's check out our featured work from Facebook and Instagram. If you too would like to submit, you can do so on Facebook by going into our PencilStash adult coloring group and posting to share with our lovely community of folks. Or you can do so on Instagram using the hashtag PencilStash. I hope that you enjoyed this video this week. If you did, leave me a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It helps new folks find my channel. And if you're new, please hit the subscribe button so that you can watch my future videos. And if you want to see my past videos, you can do so by visiting my channel. There's tons of videos there with adult coloring and colored pencil tips and tricks. Again, that's it from me this week, and I will see you guys next time.